back, dear students. This is my 7th video on the 4th chapter of your geography, that is agriculture. So let us talk about modern and traditional agriculture. In short, we have done it in the beginning of the chapter, so let us know some more facts about it. Farming is the only activity which has been carrying out on for ages. In the passage of time, the activity of agriculture has undergone numerous changes. So, farming is something which has been carried out since the early Stone Age, beginning in end of the early Stone Age, 10,000, 11,000 years ago. So, and it has come across so many changes over the period of time, like from the traditional to the modern method. First they were just plowing it by hand, then the bullocks were used, then the modern tools were implemented, so that there has been a lot of change. And what are they? Just let us know about it. In the traditional form of agriculture, crops was sowed with the help of hands, whereas in modern agriculture, crops are being sowed with the help of machinery. This can be a comparison also, difference also. Just go through it carefully. Then turn to the next page. Traditional farming makes use of traditional and old agricultural equipments, and modern farming makes use of modern equipments. Traditional farming suffer from unpredictable environmental conditions, and modern agriculture has scientific methods to deal with unforeseen weather conditions. So here old traditions were used, but now they are using modern techniques, modern equipments. So first, in the traditional farming, it was the crop were dependent on the environment, but now they are trying to use more scientific methods and trying to deal with it. Traditional farming is characterized by low input husbandry, whereas modern farming is characterized by high input husbandry. So what is husbandry? It is the care, cultivation and breeding of crops and animals. Okay. Then animal waste has been traditionally used as fertilizers. Today the fertilizers, so earlier whatever animal waste was there, like cow dung or the remains of the plant, they were used as fertilizers. But now the factories are making various fertilizers and they are used at a large scale so that the crop production can be good and better. Although the per acre yield was less with animal manure fertilizers, the quality of crop was superior and healthier. Okay, because no chemicals were used. The production was less, but it was very good quality and healthy. But now production is more with the use of fertilizers and manures, but the quality has deteriorated and it is not very healthy for the body. So that is the difference between the traditional and the modern way of farming. So now another important difference between traditional farming and modern farming is that traditional farming needs great amount of labor, and hence the job opportunities provided to the labor are more. Earlier men were doing it by hand, manual labor was required, but now modern farming does not need great amount of labor, since the machines are doing all the work, because they are take care of everything. Hence the job opportunities provided to laborers are comparatively poorer and lesser. Okay. So now we will talk about what is Green Revolution. So Green Revolution changed society in many developing countries. It was a revolution, a great change, and it is called Green Revolution. Earlier, famine was fairly common and 56% of the world's population lived on diets that were barely sufficient. Famine means drought. But with the emergence of Green Revolution, this condition changed. The idea was to transplant many of the system ideals and technology of Western farming into Asian agriculture. Whilst researching and utilizing the resources Asian countries had, they had limited resources. So with the Green Revolution, these resources were used to the maximum so that the produce can be enough. and it was funded by Rockefeller Foundation, the Ford Foundation, and some other major agencies. So Green Revolution, what did the Green Revolution do? They increased the crop production by using modern agricultural techniques. The techniques adopted were high yield variety seeds, chemical fertilizers, pesticides, insecticide, and assured irrigation facilities. So with the use of such things, the yield become more and more, and that is why it is termed as Green Revolution. So what was the impact of Green Revolution on the crops, on the farming, on the agriculture? So as a result, a new agricultural strategy, the production of food grains increased substantially. Majorly it increased. Okay. It is a capital intensive agriculture strategy. This new technology is characterized by frequent application of water, fertilizer, insecticides, double cropping, larger volume of transportation, marketing, and food processing. This will lead to an increase in employment and income among the agricultural laborers and small farmers. With all this, there was an increase in employment opportunities. The traditional Indian agriculture was self-sufficient. It was produced for the individual's use, but the new strategy attaches great importance to agricultural products as industrial inputs and are meant for sale in the market. A developing nation like India paid back all the loans it had taken from the World Bank and its affiliates for the purpose of Green Revolution. This improved India's creditworthiness in the eyes of the leading agencies. So what is creditworthiness? Means they were giving money to the have enough money or property for banks and other organization to willing to lend money. Okay, so this was very, very important. The increase in irrigation created the need of new dams to harness monsoon water. So the dams were created so that the whatever monsoon water or rainfall is coming, it could be stored or it could be used, further used. Was used to create hydroelectric power. This boosted industrial growth also. Not only agriculture, but it also led to the growth of industrial growth. This ends your chapter. Please go through the chapter very, very carefully. Students, I just want to remind you that I am Amrita and I take geography for standard 6B only. But since the chapters are equal for all the classes, so I am doing it for all the 3 sections and sending you notes for all the 3 sections. But I will be taking geography in standard 6B, history in standard 6A, and English in standard 6C. So don't get confused, though I am sending you videos for all the 3 sections. So please don't get confused. Thank you.